Hello there, dead and lovely listeners, and welcome to a brand new wildcard installment here of the greatest horror movie podcast in the known multiverse and beyond. It's Dead and Lovely here with the host with the most. Why, it's me, Uncle Ben.
And me, Hollywood Steve. Are we doing this the whole time?
Yeah, exactly right.
We're going to talk like this.
That's just kind of my voice right now.
Trying to put everybody to sleep.
I've still got my gravelly phlegm voice. We're also joined by an extremely special guest here in the Dead and Lovely studio, a first-timer on the show. It's a very special person to me. It is she who is known as the last of her name, the breaker of plates.
Is that right?
Yeah. The once extremely badly burned.
Oh, no.
The mother of dogs.
Yeah.
Why, it's my number one shorty. Say hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, that's right. It's my wife.
It's
Your
me.
wife.
You guys have heard her in the background of a couple episodes.
Yeah.
You've definitely heard me talk
Definitely
about
on
it
the
many
YouTube
times.
channel.
Yeah, on the videos.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
true.
That's
yeah.
Kate laughing and correcting.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. Which is generally just kind of what you do overall.
Laughing
Right,
and
yeah.
Laugh at
correcting.
me and correct me.
Yeah.
I need
Good
you
job.
for that.
Ha ha ha. You're dumb, dummy.
And we've got her here on the show because she wanted to lend her very poignant thoughts onto this Game of Thrones season wrap-up episode. We just watched the final episode ever of Game of Thrones. We thought we'd give you guys some hot off the top of our heads thoughts about how we felt about how this wrapped up. This has of course been super controversial. It seems like basically everybody has hated it and been super pissed about it.
Not true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fake news?
I've seen some love.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
I've
good.
dug through, just gone through Reddit, scrubbed it with a fine-tooth comb to find that the same people are the ones who hate it. And they're loud, but they're not the majority. Most people love it still.
All right.
Not everybody loves everything about it, but everybody's still like, I still love this show.
Yeah.
I think people have just been playing up the hate because that gets headlines, that gets clicks, you know?
That's true. That's definitely true.
What would the headline be? People still love Game of Thrones.
Guess what? It was great. Huh.
We think the ending's okay.
Yep. There you go.
And while we do this, we're going to be drinking ourselves a very special beer. This is a brew from the Wicked
yeah.
Weed Corporation from over in Asheville, North Carolina. I cannot remember what it's called. It's called like Saradacia or something like that.
We'll post it when we post the episode.
Yeah, but it is a sour gin barrel ale
you can-
with
Yeah, I'm
Smell.
excited.
watermelon and basil or
It's
something
like
like that.
very floral
Yeah.
and fruity. It smells like I just walked into Bath and Body Works,
Ooh, a
Oh,
bath
but
and a body
in
work.
a good way.
but in a good way. Yeah. Like nobody's sprayed anything at me yet.
Nobody's buying their granddaughter's stocking stuffers, is what you're saying. You know?
Yeah, maybe like in April.
Okay, yeah, earlier on in the year. 8.3%, but it sure does smell fucking light and delightful. What's that do to you?
That's a shock.
Oh, shock and awe.
It is sour.
I like it.
It is so
It's
good.
tart.
Yeah?
It's tart. It's
I hope you like it. Actually, I hope you hate it.
It's
so I can
actually
drink yours.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
yeah.
Holy cow, that's great.
It reminds me in a very
Ooh.
good way of a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
I was going to
Yeah.
say a watermelon warhead.
Oh, yeah.
The watermelon warhead.
But it
It's
also
actually
has
got some
that,
of
what was it, cucumber and
Yeah, cucumber, basil or something is
basil.
in
I
there too.
can taste basil for sure.
Yeah.
Some leafy herb.
Damn, that is
That's
awesome.
dope.
I'm way on board
Way
with
to go,
that.
Wicked Weed, man.
Yeah. So it kind of goes without saying, this is going to be spoilerific. I mean, you can't not do a little wrap up about the season and not talk spoilers a little bit. So we will be spoiling the absolute dog shit out of this. So if you've not watched it yet, don't listen to this. Just let it all be a surprise to you.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to spoil the hell out of it.
Unless you're just one of those people who doesn't care about spoilers. I actually heard, according
that
to some
person.
research, some people get a lot more out of a show when they know what's going to happen.
Oh, really?
So, hey,
What's the fun in
if
that?
you're one of those people.
Oh, these are probably people that peek at their Christmas presents, too.
Yeah, those are the people.
Oh, those are the
me.
people. So people like you. Correct. People that have to hide their Christmas presents in the closets and stuff like that so they won't open them before Christmas.
Behind the amps.
Wow.
Yeah, Sure.
I know where they are.
You don't know where they are.
Emily has no patience at all either. So if she gets a gift, she just gets it when I buy it.
Okay,
Like,
that
here you
works.
go.
We do that
Unwrapped. There it
sometimes.
is.
Sometimes we do that. We're just like, I
do
just
that
want you to have
because I'm
this.
like, I bought you the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to give it to you.
She's the same way. Just I can't wait. Yeah.
So because this is the day after that series finale, I'm sure that I'm going to fuck some stuff up and get some quotes and facts and things like that, right? So apologies in advance.
One watch at 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really
Yeah,
sufficient.
this isn't meant to be some exhaustive
Everything
catalog
you need
of.
to know.
Yeah, we're just giving our impression of the show, basically.
So overall, how did you guys feel about this season in general? It seems like with a lot of people, it started off and they decided they hated it before it even rolled the first episode.
That is true.
You know, how did you guys feel about how this season went overall?
Pacing felt a little unbalanced, but I didn't mind. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I mean, it started off
But the-
like slow, and then
Yeah.
it was like everything was happening real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, it was either nothing or everything right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
They just didn't have enough episodes to tell the whole story, but they
No.
did spend 2 episodes really getting into the characters.
Which I enjoyed. I know,
Yeah.
like episode 2, I think it was, where it was
Yeah.
just like kind of everybody hanging out up at the
Yeah, I
wall
love
and
that.
stuff. I love that. A lot of
That
people
was
are like,
awesome.
nothing happened. And I'm like, no, everything happened. You got
Oh,
to
man.
spend time with these characters before
We're
God
about
knows
to
what
watch
happens to
them
them.
die.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because they knew everybody was watching all their favorite characters on screen going, oh my God, I hope he doesn't die. Oh my God, I hope she doesn't die.
But as we were talking about when we were preparing for this, not that many people died in this season.
Not that
really.
bloodthirsty of a season.
Yeah, which is actually
Unexpected.
Yeah.
unexpected, but also like fine. Like
Yeah.
you can't expect everybody to die. If everybody dies, then I mean that could have been an ending. Of course,
That could have been
everybody
an ending.
dies and
Yeah.
the Night King wins. But man, what would those last 4 episodes have been?
It's a real
Just watching the Night
catch-22.
King kill
Just
everybody.
like
Yeah.
raising. the
I
dead.
win.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I mean, that's a show.
Sure.
But you know, it's a real catch-22 because if they did the thing where they kill all of our favorite characters and everybody be like, oh, that figures, they're always killing the main characters, it's not even a surprise.
Right.
But then, you know, as this time they left a lot of the main characters alive, we're sitting here going, oh, it actually was kind and gentle.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was.
so you're going to get criticized either way. There's no
Sure.
way you could. And there's no way they could have pleased everybody with this season.
Yeah, there was no way to win.
I would
sure.
say for myself, like, I really enjoyed the first 3 or 4 episodes of this season. You know,
Okay.
the first couple there were, like you said, we had some good character time. 3rd episode was the long night. Unbelievable battle. Loved it.
The 4th one really pissed me off. I got
Okay.
real mad in the 4th episode.
What happened in the 4th one?
It's the Jamie Brienne.
Oh, yeah.
I got real
okay,
mad.
I know
Yeah.
you both are upset about this. I do not understand. Did you really think
Livid.
that
Yeah.
he was gonna stay with Brienne? That was the end of his arc?
No, I got mad that he slept with her in the first place.
I like that they had
you
this
thought he
mutual
wasn't
respect.
selfish?
I really liked that you had this dual
Yeah.
relationship that was platonic between a man and a woman,
Yeah.
and they just really
Professional.
They
respected-
shouldn't have had sex, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
they respected
okay.
the fuck out of each other, and it was so awesome, and I loved it. It makes me mad that Brienne has to fall in love with every man she swears fealty to.
Right.
Dude, poor Brienne. What
Yeah.
a pitiful fucking character.
It made me so mad when he slept with her, and then on top of a speech he gave some earlier season about Cersei's the only woman I ever loved.
Yeah.
She's the only woman I've ever had sex with. There's nobody else.
Yeah.
And so then he sleeps with Brienne, and then he's like, "Oh, I made a mistake. I'm going back to Cersei." And I was like, if you're gonna make a turn, the way that they've built Jaime's arc,
Yeah.
he would have stayed turned.
But he didn't make a turn. He tried something. He was like, maybe I can be a good person. Maybe I can be with Brienne and be happy.
Yeah,
and he
maybe.
tried it, and he was like, no.
But one of the
I'm
things
not
that
happy.
I've loved about this whole series is like when you go back and you watch season 1, episode 1, and you're like, Jamie is a piece of shit. Fuck this guy. He fucks his sister.
Yeah.
He's ultra arrogant.
Kills
Right.
kids.
Yeah, tries to kill kids and stuff like this. It's like, this guy fucking sucks. You think you'll never like him. There's no chance that this guy will ever get on your good side. And then as the series goes along and does that wonderful gray area thing that we all like, where it's like, gosh, I'm really kind of starting to like sympathize with this guy and
Yeah.
you know, feel like he's a really cool character, but he does fuck his sister.
It's true.
It makes you feel weird stuff about characters. I really enjoyed this whole character arc that he had gone through where he was humbled and he got his fucking hand cut off and he lost his purpose in life, and then his sister started treating him like shit because he wasn't really useful anymore. I really expected whenever he and, you know, Brienne had spent all that time together, he'd come to respect her as a fighter and stuff like this. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to hook up with her. I thought that morning, whenever it showed them in bed together, I thought he was looking at her being like, I can love another woman. Like, I've proved it to myself. I can do it.
right, but that wasn't his arc.
Apparently not.
His arc was going from a bad person to a good person. He never stopped loving Cersei.
Yeah.
So his arc was completed, and he went back to the woman he loved to do good things. He rung the bells. He was the reason why the bells were rung. So
that didn't do a lot of good.
Didn't do a lot of good.
Gold star forever.
That's not his fault. I think he did. He did become a good person. He just didn't lose his love for Cersei. So, like,
I'll tell you what I would have liked better out of it. I really would have liked if, again, he wakes up.
I wanted them to be friends.
Yeah, the mutual respect.
I do like that better, actually. Like, when you said that, I was like, yeah, that would have been better. No sex at all. Just
respect, and admiration. Yeah. I would thought that it would have been so cool and so tragic. I was thinking about this, but like, if we have that scene where they hook up, it's the morning, he wakes up, he's looking at her and stuff, and then he kind of gives her that, go on, get on out of here.
Nobody loves you.
Yeah, he gives her that speech.
He gives her the Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the Harry and the Hendersons. That is exactly what it was. Go on, get.
No one likes you. John Lithgow.
I want to watch that again.
Yeah, really. But if he would give her that speech, right? And then he goes all the way to King's Landing, and we, the viewers, are like, is he going to hook up with Cersei or to kill Cersei?
Right, yeah.
That was then, all you.
I wanted that. But then here's what I thought would be so cool is, like, if he gets all the way up there, he's with Cersei, he's acting like he's going to help save her and stuff, pulls her for a hug, and then you hear just that, of course, that knife shink.
Right.
Like
he johns her.
Yeah, exactly.
Her.
Yeah, he's put a knife between her ribs.
Yeah.
And we realize, oh my God, he just told Brienne all that stuff so that he could go off and do his thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, as he's leaving...
Would you be cool with that?
Yeah.
That he lied to Brienne to go kill Cersei? Why wouldn't he just tell the woman he respects he's going to go kill Cersei?
Yeah, I know. There would be some sort of crafty way to get around that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It seems to me that the disappointment you're expressing is a disappointment everyone's expressing all the time about Game of Thrones is it's not the thing I thought it might be.
Well, yeah. Well, let me finish this thing too.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll pull the Ross Perot. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
I got a pie chart here. Let me finish.
Oh, all right, John Lithgow. Okay.
People still joke around about Ross Perot, right? That's
he's a
relevant.
big topic.
Very relevant.
Very relevant.
Big topic on the Jay Leno show.
Yeah, yeah. Is he still alive?
Jay Leno or Ross Perot?
I don't really know.
I think he may have flown away with those ears.
But it's like he goes through this thing and we're like, oh my gosh, he actually was going to kill Cersei, and he's like, I gotta get back home and get me some of that sweet Brienne lovin'. And then on his way back,
he puts on sunglasses and skateboards up to Winterfell.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
But if while he's trying to get out of King's Landing, then that wall falls on him or whatever, and he dies. And so she never knew that he had actually made this turn in his character. I think that would have been cool. And she's like, she has to spend her life being like, did he love me?
I feel real bad saying that's bad.
It's okay. I'm not a writer.
Good, because I was about to do it. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be the shrew.
Fuck y'all.
That would have been terrible. Like, what? Okay, but I get what, like, that's what people have been doing since fucking episode 1, season 1. People have been like, oh my God, is this person going to do this and this person going to do that? And then like getting real disappointed when those things don't happen.
But it's no fun if exactly what you think is going to happens.
Exactly.
But then you get so disappointed the way when Bran turned out not to be the Night King and you sulked for 3 days.
I did not. I did not do that.
Well, there was some sulking at the very least. Right?
I just thought there was something.
Yeah.
I just thought there was something going on that seemed deeper than it was.
You were so convinced.
But that's the thing, though, is that people kept coming up with these elaborate ideas of what the show's going to be, and then the show was what it is, and then everybody's like, it's not as cool as my idea, but if your ideas had played out, everybody would be like, that fucking sucks. It's not as cool as my idea.
Right.
Like, if everybody's idea played out, everybody would realize that nobody could figure this out. That's why George R.R. Martin can't write the books, because he can't figure out how to end it.
Everybody feels a personal stake to how they think it should go, as if you own it.
You care so much about the characters, right?
You're invested in this story. Like, we're deeply... I will miss watching this show, and I'll go back and rewatch it.
Many times.
Man, okay, so... all right. I got 2 things... I want to talk about a tweet by comedian Eliza Skinner, who I fucking love. Amazing. Go check her out. She said, once a girl I was babysitting flipped out about a fruit roll-up, yelled and punched her sister in the eye. We talked and I found out she was actually upset because she had peed her pants at school earlier and everyone laughed at her. But she didn't know how to deal with that.
Are you saying
Anyway,
everybody in America has peed their pants?
yes. What the point is that like you can't deal with public outrage as though it's valid because most people don't know how to deal with their feelings. So most people are dealing with, I'm gonna miss this show. It's been 10 years of my life. I'm so invested in it.
Yeah, sure.
But what happens is they can't say that to themselves and they can't say that to other people. They can't voice what their feeling is, so their feeling just becomes anger. And it's just been it happens with every show. Every single show. No show has had the ending anybody ever wanted. Everybody's always in a rage. It's ridiculous.
Except for 6 Feet Under.
Oh, people love that one?
People say
I
that's
didn't
the
see it.
best.
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
it.
it.
Okay.
It's worth watching the entire
Yeah.
series to watch how they close it out.
Cool.
It's the best.
Yeah, like, because I like Battlestar Galactica, everybody hated that ending. I enjoyed it. Lost, everybody hated that ending.
That's dumb.
Because that
It
show
is
sucks.
real
Fucking
dumb.
dumb.
It showed it sucked. Like
People hate The Sopranos. That's a huge one.
Like no
That-
matter.
That was a bad ending, though.
People were really mad
It was a
about that,
tough one.
but then still, it's like, give it a couple of years and people are still like, oh, The Sopranos is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yes.
Oh, it's
the
great.
ending of St. Elsewhere, where it's all an autistic boy's dream
Yeah,
as he looks into a
exactly.
snow globe. Like, yeah.
Just insanity.
So the ending of this was great
Tame
in
by
comparison
comparison.
to all of that.
I'll say
I thought
this.
this ending was okay.
I thought it was okay. I'll put it this way. Is it as good as the rest of the series has been? No.
Endings never are.
They never are. Yeah, they never really are.
Yeah.
But the thing is I do think that considering the way that they had painted the story and the arcs that they had put the characters on, I think it was probably about as good of an ending as they could have done. They could have done things differently, but considering where they had pointed the story,
Yeah.
I think they probably worked with it about the best as they could have.
I agree.
What was your all's predictions for how things were going to wrap up? Kate and I were just kind of talking before we even hit play. It's like, okay, what are you calling? Who's king?
Yeah.
Who's going to end up on
Yeah.
the throne?
Final calls. With Danny turning,
Yeah.
I was already, which I saw happening several episodes prior.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had been mad for most of the season about her turning into the bad guy.
Oh man,
But-
she was
We'll
always
get
the
into
bad
that.
guy.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So that
They
that's-
did do a great job of explaining that though too. Peter Dinklage, where he talked about
Oh my
how
God.
It's good.
He
like the
won this
progression.
episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
yeah.
When he was talking about her
Oh, my
progression,
God.
her descent into madness, it was like just a clear
Yeah.
like it's been happening, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after they did
That
that part, after I saw that happening, I was like, you know what? Just let her be the bad guy, let her kill everybody, and sit on the throne of ashes and rule Westeros.
I would
That's-
have, dude.
I would
have
have respected
that.
the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I
one-
would have liked it, but I would have
Yeah,
respected
I was gonna
it.
I
say no
wouldn't
one
have
would have
liked it.
liked that,
But
but
man, I would respect
It would
that.
have been hard ass as shit if they would have done it that way. If
Just
she's just like,
murder everybody.
fuck you guys, I win.
she essentially
Credits.
was going to do. I mean, that
Oh
was
yeah,
the
that's where she
plan.
was headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Snow. I seriously thought that he wasn't going to kill her. Like the whole time they were
Really?
in that throne room, I was like, "Fuck, he's not." It wasn't like, "Oh no, don't." It was like, "He's not going to do it." This fucking asshole.
As soon as he started crying, I was like, well,
Yeah.
okay, there it goes.
Yeah, then it started to become pretty clear.
Yeah.
And then I knew Drogon wasn't going to do anything to him. Like it just seemed to me like if Drogon did try to burn him,
Well, he's a Targaryen. He should be
yeah.
fireproof.
So and then it would have just been stupid. Like I wouldn't have been into that. I really liked the way that Jon Snow ended up not being king. Because
Yeah.
it was my dread. I didn't want Dany to be king or queen. I didn't want Jon Snow to be king because they both suck. Like he's too dedicated to his morals, and she's too dedicated to believing
To
she's
power.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was really thinking that they were going to make Jon reluctantly take the throne.
Yeah, and
I was thinking like that's the easiest thing that will satisfy
Yeah.
probably the most people, and I was
then-
really concerned they were going to do it.
See, I thought the realistic one was Jon would get on the throne. Danny maybe would look at, like, take a walk and look at the devastation, and she and Drogon would fly away.
Just peace out.
That's what I thought the realistic expectation was.
yeah.
It's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Queen of the Ashes.
I never wanted her to be in charge, but yeah, that would be the only like that's the
Yeah.
end result of her being in charge is ashes. Like that's what
Yeah.
she was setting out basically. Like we're gonna go kill everybody else in Westeros.
I had this crazy idea too that it'd be really terrible if it ended up that Danny and Jon both die, or Danny dies and Jon's just like, no, I don't want it, and so then that makes Gendry, the newly like lorded, bona fide Gendry, be like, well, I have a claim to the throne,
Right.
and then like Arya comes back and she's like, also, I'm pregnant with your baby.
What?
And they end up king queen. I would have been like, oh God.
I would have
had a
hated that.
horrible dread of that
Yeah.
If
happening.
all of these like women had gotten pregnant, I would have been so pissed.
What if they?
so
What if they
bad.
literally all had gotten pregnant?
Like
when they were,
one of them.
when they were.
Brienne, Arya,
Yeah.
all of them.
All of
Everybody.
them. The next generation.
Except for Sansa.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I had thought that it was going to end with Dany or Jon, and I was gonna dislike it.
Yeah.
But I could see that the season wasn't building to that. So like, even going into the last episode, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. I did not predict that Bran would end up king, though.
No.
I did say that I thought it would be cool if Tyrion like turned it into a democracy,
Yeah.
which they actually presented as an option.
Samwell was like, maybe the people could vote.
Yeah, and they
They're
all
like,
laughed at
"No."
him like that, like
Well,
they
that's-
would.
And I'm glad, because we were sitting there watching that, and
That
Sam
would've
brings
been
that up,
too-
and
yeah.
Kate and I look at each other and we're like, they're not about to say democracy. is
I
the
was
answer.
getting ready to like
Yeah.
jump up and yell. Like
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Though-
I put my drink down.
Yeah.
To jump up and yell.
They did set up something similar to a democracy, though. I mean, they headed toward it, but it was still
more like
all
an
about the
electoral
nobles.
college.
Yeah, more like an electoral college where the votes don't matter.
Well, here's the thing. This is what you were talking about earlier. How is this going to work long term? Because Bran can't have kids. P.S. I also really love that, like, as they were nominating Bran gets to be king,
His sister's like,
dude,
"No dick."
Sansa's like, his dick don't work. Mm-hmm. I wish
Gotta
you would
call
have
it
been.
out.
I wish you would have been like, thank you for that, Sansa. Correct. I cannot procreate.
Yeah,
How does she know his dick don't work?
that's a good
What if
question.
he was like, Sansa, my dick works?
I just can't walk.
True.
That's it.
There
What if he
are
said,
many people in wheelchairs who have functioning genitalia.
What if he said, maybe I'm more like the three-legged raven?
What?
Okay, so that brings up my question. 'Cause
okay.
You see the
three-eyed-
three-legged raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how big that thing
Yeah.
is. If the three-eyed raven
Uh huh.
lives for 1,000 years,
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. That
Oh yeah, that other guy lived in that tree forever.
Yeah, that was sort of
So,
the idea. Was
is,
that,
shit.
is Bran reigning for 1,000
1,000
I mean,
years?
I think he still needs to maintain a connection to the weirwood trees. And
Gotta
they
charge
don't.
his lasers
If you're the
Yeah.
king, you can bring one down.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have
They
that in
used to
King's
be
Landing,
there.
but they would have to bring one down. Yeah, but
forgot
we
they
saw
lived long.
we saw when they were going up north at the end, the grass up north. So like.
Yeah,
we're
there was that
seeing
blade
like
grass up there.
what would possibly be an eternal summer with a king that could rule for 1,000 years, who's going to be just. Like, this is probably the most ridiculously happy ending that they could have
That's
created
probably
out of the
true.
show.
But after him, what happens?
So if he is the three-eyed raven,
There would be a new three-eyed
yeah,
raven.
he
Yeah,
would pick a new three-eyed raven.
Yeah.
Who would also then reign for 1,000
maybe.
years.
Yeah, maybe
So do
they
you
would pick
think-
him to be king.
Do you think that ultimately at the end of this, the two options that they were looking at having on the throne were loyalty to law and power, and
Yeah.
instead they chose wisdom.
They chose
Is that
wisdom.
kind of what they're trying to say?
Well, yeah, they set that up with Tywin teaching that to Tommen after
oh yeah,
his
that's
name
right.
died.
Yeah, Joffrey.
But yeah,
I
that
love Tywin. He was
yeah,
such an
he was
asshole,
the
but
best.
Man, I loved him.
He was great. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, Tywin was a fucking hard ass, but he was never really all that
Yeah.
wrong about much anything.
No.
If you just look at, if all that's important is protecting your family, he kind of walked the straight and narrow.
yeah.
You might not have liked it, but he wasn't really wrong.
No, he wasn't.
You know?
He was a terrible person, but he wasn't wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like I did like the ending. I thought it was a good ending.
Tyrion's essentially king.
Yeah. I mean,
Bran fucks
Okay.
off.
How about this though? This is one of those things that I did kind of have a bit of a problem with. Okay, so Jon kills the queen.
uh-huh.
Tyrion was imprisoned for, like conspiring against the queen and shit. And then after all this is said and done, and it's like, oh, I guess several weeks passed or whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell
Yeah,
by
because
the
he got a
beard
beard.
growth.
Because he had a beard, right. So Grey Worm, I guess apparently still has not killed either one of them, even though he's in like complete
Well, he's-
rage mode and just executing people left
He's
and
not
right.
he's not a commander. Like I mean, he's not the one who makes the orders.
But, I mean, with nobody to tell him not to, I think he would be murdering these motherfuckers
think-
that killed the queen.
I think that just shows the discipline they have, despite the fact that they've gotten away from being complete slaves. They're
Yeah.
so disciplined that they won't act until being told what to do.
So then they have this trial for Tyrion where they have, all the like noble people of Westeros around and
Right.
stuff in the dragon pit. And
Plus the poof.
plus the poof.
I didn't even recognize him. Ben had to tell me who that was. I was like, who's the fop?
Yeah, that's old titty sucker. Yeah.
Old
titty sucker. He's called
Robin Titty Sucker Aaron.
That's his name. Puberty's been kind to him, by the way.
Yeah,
he was pretty handsome, actually.
Yeah, he actually.
I could not.
They dressed
get
him
over
in
the
that ridiculous
foppishness.
outfit. Yeah.
I couldn't get past it.
Yeah. So basically, it's Tyrion's trial. They bring him out to be judged and stuff, and he's like, "Yes, I have had my crimes. I think that we should choose a king."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Yeah, he's right." Like, okay, just imagine the situation is you kill a world dignitary.
Right.
It's your trial, and all the politicians of the world get to decide what happens to you. And you leave as the vice president.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
He also
What?
he was very like demeaning to them too, because they're like, we don't have a king, and he just goes, choose one.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why
Like, whoa,
so
dude.
many people sitting there respected Tyrion though. Like, and nobody
Everybody
was
did,
was going to do anything without Sansa. Like, honestly, Sansa was in charge of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
She was sitting in the middle. Everybody deferred to her.
Oh, I loved when Edmund
And
stood
she
up.
said, "Nice king you got there. We're not taking that. I'm queen of the North,
Oh,
Yeah,
bitches."
peaced out. I peaced out.
And everybody was like, "Cool."
Yeah. All right then.
I half expected Yar to be like, I want that too.
Yeah, same for the Iron
Yeah.
Islands, please.
We're on our own.
I'll have what she's having. That would have been great. That definitely should have happened right there.
But they did give her a nice little like look of like, fuck, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, they did. They did all seem to have like, oh fuck. Especially, yeah. I think that works for the North, and probably doesn't work as much for the South because they're closer to
Yeah.
each other. In the North, I mean, on the map, even at the beginning, doesn't look as far as it is.
It's too cold up there.
It's way, way far away from everything else.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's a strong line between the North and everybody.
Yeah, so I think saying you can have the North is like, yeah, whatever. We don't give a shit.
Take that hunk of ice.
Yeah.
I
Good
think they chose Bran because the throne was destroyed and he already had his own chair.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Pretty sure.
You don't even have to make a new chair.
But
Save a couple bucks.
Don't you just think all those, whoever is left living, around the Red Keep and all that stuff in what's it called, King's Landing? Aren't they just going to be like, wait, who the fuck is king? Who is this kid?
Everybody's dead.
But that's kind of what they're like anyway. Like, I mean, that's kind of how the world was set up early on, where like,
Yeah, when you saw like the Hound traveling, and
Yeah.
they were talking to farmers and stuff, and they're like, I don't care.
give a
yeah, they don't,
crap.
yeah,
I
they
just
keep
want to get
setting
enough
that up.
stores for winter.
Which is absolutely true of most of the public in politics. Is I don't care. It doesn't affect me day to day. So yeah, like these people, they're told there's a new king. His last name's Stark. Okay, I know that name.
Yeah,
Cool.
whatever. Probably doesn't affect
Yeah.
me very much. He has the internet. What's the internet?
Sounds good.
Bran basically
Is
has
it
the
porn?
internet. Yeah.
Did you see the I did not catch this when we watched the episode. I saw it on an article today. But the gold cloak uniform that Brienne's wearing, it has a three-eyed raven symbol.
Oh, sick.
What?
Not
I didn't
a
catch
wolf.
that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that she and motherfucking Pod became gold cloaks.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Pod
Yeah.
is the
She's
man.
the commander. She's
Yeah,
the leader
that's
of
right.
the gold cloaks.
Yeah, because she was writing up Jamie's in the
Man,
thing.
I would have
was too
loved.
nice to that man.
She was too nice to that man. I wish while
Well,
she
yeah,
was.
I mean, she wrote his accomplishments. She
But,
didn't
dude-
write. Also, he dicked me and didn't call back.
I was gonna say I
She
wanted her to be
should've.
writing all that stuff and then like have a pensive thought and then go back and write in.
Sister fucker.
Yeah.
fucker.
Also a 2-pump chump.
Oh damn!
You know.
What up now, Jamie?
Crooked dick.
Crooked dick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I want to talk about the dragons.
Dargrons.
Because we lost some Dorgon in this one.
Yeah.
We lost a Dorgon at the end of last
he was like,
year.
"I'm out of here."
Peace out.
That was so sudden.
Yeah.
Which one? The Drogon?
Viserion.
Oh, Viserion. Yeah.
The green one.
Yeah. They did that poorly because he had to be gone.
Yeah, they needed.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford it.
And
Well,
dude,
I don't even know. Like from a story writing perspective, if you could have two dragons in those last two episodes, because there wouldn't have been a moment to take a breath between dragons blowing everything up in King's
Yeah.
Landing, and like then there would be no hope beyond that.
Well, especially because apparently those scorpions aren't that hard to knock down.
Right.
Well, in some episodes they are. In other episodes they're invincible.
Yep.
That's something that drove me crazy. Was it the end of episode 4 is when Viserion died?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nitpicky stuff like that I got mad at more than anything else.
That is what people were, I think, like, really latching on to turn into way bigger issues. Because, like, really, I get why they needed to do it. They should have done it better. If they had a few more episodes, they would have.
Absolutely so.
But...
And I'll give you this, like, I even like that they introduced a weapon that could somewhat level the playing field. Because basically having a dragon in what amounts to medieval times is like having a fucking H-bomb with reload on it. It's completely unfair. So I even like the introduction of the scorpions as a way to level the playing field.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
I'm totally okay with that.
I didn't understand why when they shot it, it said, "Come here! Get over here!"
But dude, like, at the end of that one episode where they shot Viserion down, it was like fucking machine gun fire. And just shredded that dragon.
Yeah, they did.
Like instant reload and
and
5,000 of them.
The major problem people had is how did they not see it?
Yeah.
She was up in the air.
Well,
I should have seen all those ships.
I'll allow it that back then, before the introduction of the Scorpion, it's like if you didn't know that they would have these things armed on boats. Yeah, it's like, what are they going to shoot an arrow at
that
me?
actually
She
makes a
still
lot
should
of
have
sense.
seen the boats, though.
Yeah.
They could have had,
like, because
yeah,
they came around. Her fleet came around the corner, and we're like, "What the fuck?" Mm-hmm. She should have seen the boats and been like, "Hey guys."
I feel like she just I think you're kind of right though. Like she had nothing to fear from them.
Oh no, she didn't.
Like, what are they gonna do? But
she needed to protect her ships.
But then in the next episode, they are like the slowest to reload things ever, and they pop off like one shot, and then the next thing is Qyburn being like, all the scorpions are destroyed. How the fuck did he know? Did somebody text him? He's like, all of them are destroyed.
Maybe.
What?
Well, I mean, he was up in the parapets with her, looking down.
I mean, that was his. They were his invention.
Yeah,
that was probably
so.
his job was to watch the scorpions.
I mean, I could also say that the ones shot from the ship. I don't know that they reloaded them fast. I just think there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then the destruction of them, they're just wood.
Dude, he was swinging around as if he was in the gunner of the Millennium Falcon.
It's true.
Bouncing all around in that thing.
He was all over the place. That was the smoothest fucking spear. Like, it was insane.
Maybe they spent a lot of money on that one. They were like, we need a real good one.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That's the one.
The rest are just catapults.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like that it evened the playing field, but I hated that it was just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
You know?
It should have, it should have also been, again, like all of this would have just been improved by just having a few more episodes in the last seasons. I get, though, like, it costs $12 million an episode. I mean, when you're going in, all you're making money off of is subscriptions, not advertisements or anything. So you're going in with about $100 million deficit walking into the season. You can't speculate on just how interested people are going to stay in the show. And like, I understand HBO has said they would have spent more money for more seasons or whatever, but I also understand why David Benioff and DB Weiss are like, no, we signed on to adapt a book, and now we're making a show for 2 seasons. We're creating a show from a book that we didn't even write. Like, I understand why they wouldn't want more seasons. Why would they want to do that?
Right. But I do wish they had.
It would have been cool. It would have been great. Yeah.
Would you
Or
guys?
at least made it like 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah. 8 to 10, sure.
Instead
6.
of having like
Good Lord.
10 really abbreviated epilogues in this last episode.
Right. Yeah, Lord of the Rings ending.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it kept time jumping
I liked
too.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it
They
did.
keep time jumping
You're like,
everywhere.
wait,
Yeah.
how much time has passed now? No, wait, hang on, he's clean shaven now. No, wait, they're all like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was very Lord of the Ringsy, but I still loved it. Just like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
Did you guys like
Keep
it
ending.
when the dragon melted the Iron Throne?
That was awesome.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
So pretty. This show was so pretty.
Yeah.
It looked fucking gorgeous.
Like, there were so many just gorgeous shots in this episode. The last episode.
I think what would have helped that make
Whole
a
season.
bigger, whole season really. I think what would have helped make a bigger impact whenever he melted the throne is if everything was exactly as it was, and Jon has just killed Daenerys, she's fallen, she got the blood coming out of her mouth and stuff. Dragon comes over, he's like, "Ma," it's like, "Are you awake?" He kind of pokes at her. It's real sad. It's like
It was so
it's like
It
a
was
dog.
very sad.
So pitiful. I really wish that at that point, and only at this point, if the camera would have went to Drogon and he would have went, chair bad, and then blew it away with the fire.
Okay.
Chair bad.
Chair bad.
All right.
I think it would work. Hey, speaking of pets, at least John got to pet his damn dog.
He did pet his damn dog.
Pet that dang dog.
I understand that not petting him the first time is a production issue or whatever, but I think that what people don't recognize about the wolves is they're a storytelling device as much as characters in the show. They foreshadow what's going to happen with each of the characters. Sansa's wolf dies first. It's basically her connection to the north. Once it dies, she's in the south for
most of the show,
4 or 5 seasons.
Arya's runs off, becomes a one-lady wolf pack.
And so does Arya. That is right. Arya. I mean, they're connected.
Wild and free.
What's his name?
Rickon?
No, the
Shaggy Dog.
King guy. King.
Rob.
Rob.
Oh,
How do
Rob.
I forget the name Rob?
That's
the only normal name.
I actually wanted Rob and his foreign woman to like rule.
That could have been interesting.
That would have worked.
But Rob, in the books, it's very much clear that he is a warg as well. And it's clear that they're all wargs.
Yeah, all of them are.
What I'm saying about their connections to the wolves is that's so clear in the book, and in the show is just a little less clear. But Jon's connection to Ghost is interesting in that people kept complaining that Ghost would disappear. Ghost would disappear when Jon was disconnected from the north.
Yeah.
Ghost didn't leave the north. Ghost stayed in the north. He is of the north, just like Jon.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
got the
what
true
belongs.
north in him.
It was foreshadowing the whole time that Jon is going to be in the north no matter what. So
his spirit stayed there, even
and
when
it
he
did.
left.
And we
Okay.
got to see
It's like
him.
his little Damon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
I'll allow it.
I enjoyed it.
I'll allow it. Woman, how do you think them women fared in this season?
Poorly. I was so fucking excited about
Because they didn't
Yeah.
have no babies.
That's it.
Okay.
That's exactly
Yep, you were so mad. You were like, "Oh, more babies, please."
There was such a good history in the books and the shows of like these really amazing women.
Yeah.
And then I meant to look up that season, but where they have the war room with Dany on Dragonstone, and it's like it's
That's
a
season
bunch of
7.
women.
Yeah,
It was so fucking awesome. Like I watched that scene like 5 times.
Women
It
in
was
Egypt.
awesome.
It just made me so excited. I loved it.
Not a penis in sight.
And then you just
Except
episode
for
by
Tyrion.
episode,
Tyrion.
you
was there.
watched them all die off. And in this season, season 8,
Yeah.
they just kind of fell into the background. Like the best one was Sansa, but I'm not a Sansa fan, so I can't get too excited about it.
Well, Arya did kill the Night King.
Yeah, I was gonna say Arya,
Which was
bad
Arya
as
never,
fuck. But
now
Arya
she, like-
never fell off.
what kind of ignoble ending is that she was just like, I'm gonna get in a ship and fuck off?
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't she go back and like become an assassin
So-
or go back to like finish
Well,
her
I don't-
Bravos
That's the
training?
thing to me. It was apparently a callback to something that happened.
Yeah, I read that. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
in season 1 or 2.
I don't
where
like it.
They were learning about their maps, and she's like, "What's west of Westeros?"
Yeah.
Nobody knows, and she's like, "I want to see that someday." But still, that wasn't like a driving thing
But
for her the
She's
whole
a killer.
show.
Like her
Yeah.
whole thing is like she is a sociopathic killer.
She's
But she,
Batman.
No,
that
but,
kills.
but she's not. She finished her list. Like she doesn't kill just for fun. She kills people because they deserve it. Once they were all done, she was like, "I want to go do something for myself."
But she still killed lots of people who weren't on her list.
It's true.
Like lots of people. She killed a lot.
a whole lot of people.
Yeah, it's
A
great.
whole lot of folks.
I know. I loved it. She's my.
I don't think she grew a conscience. I just think she was like, "I want to do something for myself." She's been doing all this to get revenge, and it's all been this obsessive. Like I think when she's in the city while it's burning.
Yeah.
I think she
Those shots are
realizes
amazing, by the way.
that
Beautiful.
like being this absolute murderess is
Yeah.
not cool. Like she doesn't want to do that. But she's still good at it, and she still will murder. She just doesn't see. I think she realizes that indiscriminate murder that she's been fine with is just not okay.
But they sure did spend a long time developing, making her a faceless person, and then didn't really do anything with it.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, she used it to kill all the people at the twins.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
And she used it in season 7 to follow around Lord Baelish.
But she seemed to like really enjoy her time in Bravos,
Yeah.
like that. And then they spent this whole time at this other part, like family's important, protect the family, defend my family, don't fuck with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck off now. See ya.
Well, she's flying. I mean, she's got Stark banners on, so she's
still a Stark.
She's still sailing for her family. Whatever she finds is for her family.
To be fair, and this is when this season was airing, I was reading the same sections of the book.
Yeah.
So it gets muddled in my head.
Okay.
But she left Bravos because she couldn't give up her Stark name.
Right.
So there is. I'm still not happy about it, but there is that.
Okay.
I really wish that she was sailing off. She would have said to like a little page boy, "Captain's log, day 1 on the Stark ship Enterprise."
Like, just Magellan Aria just seems so weird to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
She gets to be free finally. That's what she always wanted, is to be separated from all this bullshit. She never wanted to be a lady. She wanted to have adventures. Like, she set that up for the whole time. And she's had adventures. Cool one.
How do you think Sansa turned out or grew as a character? I know a lot of people really like her.
Everybody loves Sansa. I am not a Sansa fan. I think Sansa's a little shit.
Yeah.
I think she's
spent
got
a lot of the series being a little shit.
Now, are we saying Sansa despite the fact that they say Sansa on the show?
Yes. We're Americans,
Okay.
goddammit.
Okay.
We're from Appalachia.
Okay.
Yeah. We're from a hill.
I mean, she didn't grow much. She just wanted to be queen the whole time. She learned to be good at it. She learned how to be a politician. She met her goal. Her goal was to become queen, and she did it.
Yeah.
Accomplishment unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
I did like when she waited for everybody to like say yes to Bran.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "No, I'm on my own."
Yeah, she learned from Cersei. She learned from Littlefinger. She's not gonna put herself at a disadvantage.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I'm not a Sansa fan.
Sansa.
So I have a hard time.
You guys want to eat some salsa later? It's one letter different.
That's
one
what we
letter
sound like.
different.
Got it. Sure. So I have 2 questions regarding cold areas of the show. 2 questions.
Tell me.
Why is there still a night watch and why is there still a wall?
I think the night watch is because there's still giants
You
and
need
shit
an
up north of the
Australia.
wall.
Everywhere needs an Australia prison pit.
They didn't repair the wall or anything.
No.
It
They
didn't
were,
seem like.
they were
I think they're rebuilding Castle Black, but like
They got no problems with White Walkers coming through.
They had no problems with the wildlings either.
Yeah.
Like
John's gonna go become king beyond the wall.
But
I guess.
I mean, the way Tyrion put it basically was there'll always be a place to like people that need to go there. People that
Australia.
need to go to Australia. Yeah, that need to have a sense of purpose aside from stealing or raping or whatever.
I guess so.
So
You don't
yeah, it's a
want them
prison
mixing
colony.
in with society.
Yeah. But it's also shit's still north of the wall. There's still giants and things north of the wall. They didn't kill everybody,
Yeah,
did they?
big animals and
Yeah.
you still have the dangers of the north.
Yeah. But we saw some grass when they were walking up
Yeah,
into that
so
snow,
there's
Little
so
sprig.
yeah.
Yeah. But here's the other question I had. Is winter no longer coming?
I think it's summer now.
Winter was canceled.
Yeah, I think what we're looking at in the end is an eternal summer. The Night King is dead. He was the source of winter.
It was in the prophecy.
Yeah.
But was he? Because like in the books and stuff, they talked about how through history there'd be these like long periods of winter. Would be winter for like.
But that's because the Night King was still around,
Yeah.
So he was the one doing it.
Yeah.
He
I
controlled the weather.
I guess.
He had the heart machine up there. It was an inside job.
assume. It was an inside job.
P.S. Also like that apparently it wasn't snowing on the Red Keep. It was ash.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that little bit of Danny's like dream came true.
Can we talk about how cool that was when John walked past Drogon?
Oh
to
my
find
God.
Dany, and
Yeah.
You just thought it was like rubble, and then
And
it
yeah.
just shook.
Amazing.
It was
looked so good.
Both super cool and adorable.
Yes.
Drogon
Yeah.
was
big old
adorable.
dog.
I know.
He
The way they
was
would,
like a
have
big
him
old
shake
dog.
and stuff. Oh, it was great.
Also,
Yeah.
that shot where she's like walking out of the Red Keep and the dragon's
The
behind her and the wings
wings.
come out. It's fucking bad.
That was
Oh,
good.
it looked so
That really
good.
was like they nailed that. Like that
Yeah.
could have been. Somebody could say that was almost over the top, but it was not. It was
But
the
it looked so
perfect.
good.
It's
It
sick.
looked great and it was perfect. It was her just like, I'm a badass.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
Walking out to thank her armies in their native languages.
Yeah.
To be like, we're not done.
Uh-huh.
You did so well. We're going to take over the world.
Pretty much, man.
I
Pretty
like
much.
that later, like, there seemed to be indication when Jon and Tyrion are talking that Jon didn't understand what she was saying. Because he doesn't speak Dothraki
yeah.
or Valyrian.
Oh. I guess not.
So
I
Tyrion
didn't
was
think about that.
repeating a lot of the stuff, and I was like, wait, why? And there was like, oh, right. She wasn't speaking in English.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call their
Common
language.
tongue.
Yeah, common tongue.
The common tongue.
Yeah.
I do think that the whole Dany heel turn was fast. I wish that would have built up over an entire season, and the season finale would have been her burning the Red Keep.
I mean, it built up over 8 seasons.
The argument here is that, well, look at how she treated people. I don't buy that argument.
What?
Because she was so, like, her husband died because she stopped the Dothraki from, like, raping and pillaging.
Well, one woman, and that woman did mention I had already been raped several times before that.
Yeah, but, like,
so
that's-
she did like
That was her whole, like, I don't want to pick on the enslaved.
right.
And then she was like, nah, we're going to kill everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't enslaved. That's what she kept pointing out. Is that the people she said that Cersei was
followed
using
Cersei
their
willingly.
innocence,
Yeah.
and that she was using their innocence against her, and Cersei was, and she was proving to Cersei that I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna win, which is exactly who she's been the whole time. She's always been about proving to the higher ups who's in charge. So the slaves, she gets like. Go back to the Misa episode of season 3. I think it's the last episode of
Right.
season 3 where they're just carrying their white savior and saying Misa.
That episode is so problematic.
Is it problematic or is it exactly what it was supposed to be? It's exactly what it's supposed to be because it's showing she's not this great person. She's coming in and taking over people's cultures, changing everything and burning it to the ground. She doesn't care.
Kind of like white people do.
Exactly.
Almost like white
and
people
she
through
is
history.
the whitest person in the show. She is a representation of colonizers. That's why I hated her the whole time, is because she's a colonizer. She has no real authority because her authority is my daddy. And she gets
dad was
everything she
king.
needs because my daddy. And then when she gets those things, she uses those things to destroy because I'm in charge because my daddy. Like, she never was sympathetic to me.
Well,
All right, I'll buy that.
I'll buy that.
I like that.
And something that I kind of understood too, after really thinking about her whole arc and everything, and how by the end of this show, you know, all of her advisors and people she kept close to her, they were all dead.
Okay, now
Yeah.
see, this is a whole other thing that I have a problem
Right.
with. Like, it
Yeah.
seems that she's really emotionally upset because nobody loves her.
Well, I was just gonna say, it seems
That
like
does seem to be true,
It
yeah.
seems like
that,
maybe.
that makes me mad.
But that's what she got. The Misa episode,
Yeah.
again, she got absolute adoration
Yeah.
from everyone else. The Northerners are like, cool. So, what? You're our queen now? We've never heard of you. Just because you saved us from this Night King doesn't mean we know who the fuck you are. Like,
yeah.
so she didn't get what she wanted. And she
Why I thought
had
she
a
would
temper
just get on-
tantrum.
yeah, that's why I thought she'd get on Drogon and leave.
her story is
in,
kind of.
in the final
that-
episode was because she was.
But she still needed that adoration. She'd have to take all her people with her to constantly tell her how great she is.
Her story is kind of like my life whenever I play bass and people don't think it's important. It's pretty much like
Yeah.
that.
You get real mad about that.
It's
Yeah.
very fucking important. If
Well,
I stop
obviously.
playing, you stop dancing.
It's true.
Exactly.
And I
right.
love a dance.
My God. My God. But you know, it's like essentially all of her advisors were the best parts of her, and maybe all that was
Yes.
keeping her from
Yeah,
truly
only-
flying off the handle the whole time.
Right,
And
when
with
she-
nobody there to advise her and
Yeah.
put the brakes on it, that's what happens.
When she killed Varys, it was clear it was over. Like,
Yeah.
she-
I knew when as soon the episode before.
Yeah.
When she told Jon, "Promise you won't tell. You can't tell me."
Yeah, that was-
God, yeah.
As soon as that happened, I hit pause. I looked at Ben. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's clear she's gone. That was, I don't know. I don't miss her. I don't miss anybody that died on the show though. That for me it was always just like these are just I love them. I'm interested
I miss
in
Rob. I like
them. Oh,
Rob.
Rob.
Rob wasn't a bad filler.
No,
He
he
would
was,
have been a good king.
he probably would have been a really good king. Honestly, he
Yeah.
probably would have been. Tommen probably would have been a real good king with Tywin there to help him.
Tommen was a little
good
young
kid.
for me to decide.
We wanted what's her name? Queen of Flowers.
I
Oh.
wanted Rob to marry Marjorie.
Marjorie,
and
yeah.
they
thank
would have
you.
been the perfect.
She
king
was
and
a
queen.
crafty bitch.
She was very
Man,
crafty.
I loved Marjorie so much.
She was badass.
She was crafty and sweet. That,
Yeah.
like she was like the exact opposite of Cersei, which is
Yep.
why they always had their
Let me tell you,
interaction.
in the
Yeah.
books, she is like this private, like palace of people, and they just have a bunch of orgies all the time.
That's awesome.
She liked to
It's
fuck.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a character that I do wish could have made it out.
They made that clear in the show, too, where she's telling Sansa about sex, and Sansa's like, how did you know? Your mother tell you? And she was like, yeah. My mother told me.
Yeah. So she gets all kinds of freaky, too. She's like, we get my brother in here, too.
Yeah,
if you
whatever.
want.
Yeah.
Man, she a freak.
She's a freak.
She's badass.
Loved her.
She
I
was
loved her,
great.
and I loved her grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, her grandmother's fucking
Elena was awesome.
I'm glad that Pod made it out. Pod made it out, man.
Okay, so Pod.
He was great.
Pod is my favorite character in the whole show.
Yeah.
He's got that magic dick.
He is
He's
my
just
favorite
like,
character.
Sweet dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He completely
He's
walks
kinda
the straight and
funny.
narrow.
He's funny, yeah.
Yeah, like
Apparently got a big old hog.
Well, I don't know if it's big. He's just good with
Knows
it.
what to do with it,
Yeah.
I guess. Might
Because
do that.
it's not
Yeah.
big. Because they asked the prostitutes if it
Oh,
was big.
yeah.
And they were like, not
especially.
exceptional. Yeah.
It's true. He just knew what to do with it, I guess.
Yeah.
he knew how to treat a woman.
I reckon
Pod's
he could.
Rod.
That turns this into a real podcast.
It
doesn't
does.
Okay, so Pod was my favorite. Who's
Who's your favorite character?
Like overall, out of everything, like I just think he was the best character in the show.
Yeah, Pod kept
Who
it
is
super
that
real.
person?
I really enjoyed Tyrion. It's
Yeah.
like just seeing that he was the guy that was the most, the guy that seems the most unformidable, that was the smartest and just intellectually running circles around everybody and getting shit done. I really love that about his character. I love Bronn too, and
I liked Bronn.
I'm still not really sure he should have ended up like at the high table as master of coin and all this shit. He is a shady
Otherwise, he was gonna
motherfucker.
kill
Yeah.
Tyrion.
Tyrion,
Okay, yeah.
Tyrion had to give him that.
Kind of
Yeah.
have to at that
Yeah.
point, don't you? Yeah,
He offered
that's
him
true.
Highgarden. I mean, since he had Highgarden, he had all the money. So
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
there you go.
So I like those two characters a lot.
I like how honest Bronn has always been.
Yeah,
Bronn
dude.
never
Pay
changed.
me. Just
Bronn
fucking pay
is
me.
the same from the beginning of the show to the end. Never
no
changed
change.
a bit.
Yeah, no
Yep.
change at all.
Tyrion changed a ton.
Yeah.
Tyrion went from, just drunken
Whoring,
lecher
drunken and whoring.
yeah, to being the hand of the king. Like,
Essentially
Right.
being king.
yeah, essentially being the king. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really love the Hound. I love
Yeah,
the
the Hound.
whole story of the Hound.
Yeah,
amazing.
That
Love his
the
shit.
Clegane Bowl I think ended
It
perfectly.
was. I thought it was
Yeah.
awesome. I thought the Clegane Bowl was
Yeah.
super sick. That's one thing I've not really seen anybody be disappointed about.
Yeah.
Is that whole
No,
thing.
yeah, I didn't see a single person complain about
I
that.
was a little disappointed in that.
Where?
Oh yeah.
I thought the fight between Clegane and Brienne was way.
Oh, that was
better.
Oh yeah,
hard.
that was way better.
That was
Yeah.
a horror.
I
But-
loved that
Woof.
fight. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But Clegane is exhausted in this point. Like they left right after the war, basically went straight south. Like I think he was worn out, and his brother is dead and doesn't seem to fight. I mean, he's huge and can destroy, but he doesn't fight as well as he did before he died. Obviously,
Yeah.
Right.
He's
so
also just invincible, apparently.
yeah, he is. I wonder if he did die. I mean, they went into
thought
that
he
dragon
died, yeah.
fire, I assume, but. What if at the end it was the carry thing? Just hand
out. Oh,
the
man.
mountain.
Who's your favorite, Steve?
Okay, well that's a tough one. I think Varys, maybe.
Yeah.
This was cool.
Varys is a real cool character who
He wanted what was best for the realm.
that's it.
Oh.
He really did want what was best for the realm, and he really understood what was best for the
He
realm.
wasn't like Littlefinger, who was just like, I'm just trying to manipulate my way through
Yes,
this shit.
I want to get to the top. He didn't want to be to the top. He felt like he was at the top by being the Master of Whispers, and he really was. He controlled most of everything.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him, and I mean, obviously, we all would probably say Arya.
Yeah,
is
Arya.
up there.
Arya's Batman.
Yeah,
What do you
Arya's
don't like
so
Batman?
amazing. It's,
I love Arya.
I really loved her so much. Like just from the beginning to the end, she's amazing. But yeah,
Almost named Zora Arya, and then I was like, this show's still in the beginning stages.
yeah, you don't
how this is
know.
gonna turn.
Yeah, think about all those Khaleesi
Children
kids out
named
there.
Oh my
Khaleesi.
god, dude! There's a lot of Dannies out there that their moms are like, "We're never showing her the show.
Yeah.
We're never gonna show it to her."
Well, I
turn
wonder
out evil.
what point it was, though. Was it the point where she fucked her nephew? No. It was the point where she committed genocide.
Maybe
it
that.
wasn't the incest that did it for anybody.
Also, she is basically responsible
So,
for massive
when they-
genocide.
When they
Yeah.
first fucked, she didn't know.
That's true.
It's true.
But
But, then,
then-
she found out, and she wanted to continue going.
Yeah, she was like, let's get this going on,
That's
though.
kind of different.
Yeah.
That's kind of different.
Not in Alabama.
Good point. It's a good point.
So our Alabama listeners are like, I don't see what the problem is.
Sorry, fuck Alabama.
Where's some of that white
You need to change
barbecue
your
sauce?
government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, guys, I enjoyed it. Like I'm
Me
not
too.
gonna sit here and say that they fucking shit on my world by not ending the story the way that I wanted it to. I'm not gonna say that even the fact that the ending here was not up to the standards of the rest of the show. guess what? The rest of the show is still fucking awesome. It's like when your
really
favorite band puts out a record that you don't like. It's like, does that make everything before it invalid? Of course not. You can go back and listen to those songs anytime.
And you probably still like
Green
a couple
Day.
songs on the album.
Yeah, Green Day. Yeah, Weezer. I'll always drag Weezer into this anytime I can.
Take that, Weezer. Wait, you need to say Pinkerton.
Yeah, Pinkerton.
This is a thing people have pointed out, that there's a Pinkerton reference in the majority of our episodes.
A lot of episodes.
Yeah.
It's because it's fucking great.
you love that album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you don't like it, you're probably dumb.
Sure.
But this show is all about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
It is
I'll
all about
rewatch
that.
it for sure.
Absolutely so. Yeah, good lord. Yeah, like I want to
not even
rewatch
tough
it right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
as soon as we
easily
finished
sit
it, I
down.
want to restart it.
I need a break.
You need a
Yeah.
break.
We've been deeply immersed.
Oh, yeah. You guys just
Yeah, I guess
rewatched
so.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would still go back. And give
I
it a
will
try.
watch that documentary when it comes out.
Oh,
Oh,
hell
right.
yeah.
Yeah. That seems like
I'll
it's going
watch
to be
the
real fun.
fuck out of that. Even though I hated the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy we watched them every single week, but every
man.
time
Oh,
it's
they
just
were
I
like,
would get so
douches.
mad I would just stop it.
See, a wolf is like a dog, but bigger and wilder.
oh, really?
That's
I didn't know
like
about that.
that's Arya has a wolf because she's wild.
Danny felt the need to burn down the city because she was feeling hurt over all of these things, and you're like, oh, duh.
And she has a
We got-
dragon,
Motherfucker.
which
But there are
literally
people
shoots
that didn't
fire
get
out of his
it.
mouth.
I
Yeah.
know. I've actually talked to people who were like, that behind the episode really helped me understand it. I'm like,
Right.
oh, God, okay,
Bless your hearts.
fine.
Bless your hearts. We guys watch the side spin-off shows.
Sure.
I'll give him a chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
I gave
rarely
Joey a huge chance, and that show sucked.
it rarely works,
did.
but when it does, it's worth it.
Frasier.
Yeah.
Cheers spun off into Frasier. Yeah. Happy Days. Jody loves Chachi.
Uh-huh.
You know.
And Mork and Mindy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy's good. That's-
Uh-huh.
Mork
I
first
forget-
appeared on
Yeah.
Happy Days. What? And then reappeared in the future in the 80s in Colorado. Yeah.
Happy Days. A strange show.
Yeah, it
A
is.
very strange show.
Anyway, you say, yeah, this was great. Watch it. If you
Absolutely
haven't
so.
watched it and you listen to this just to hear
Why?
why, I don't know why you did that.
You're welcome for the conversation, I guess.
Watch it.
Not even a fantasy podcast.
Yeah. No.
Just some horror movie fan who's really put off Game of Thrones, and they were like, "What's this all about?"
What's this about here? Well, you guys be sure to let us know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like this and subscribe to the channel if you're listening on YouTube, or be sure to, subscribe to us on whatever podcast app of choice you're using. Also, rate and review on the iTunes. And if you like what you hear on our show, be sure to support our asses on Patreon. Steve, where can they
check it out.
find that Patreon?
Patreon.com/deadandlovely. You can also, if you just want to send us money because you love us,
Yeah, you can do that.
paypal.me/deadandlovely.
Yes, indeed. You guys can follow us on Instagram at DeadLovelyPod.
At Dead Lovely Pod, and you can email us at deadandlovelypod@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for being a guest, darling wife. My
Yay!
darling, my dear, my sweetheart.
Kate did
Thanks for granting me permission.
You did it.
You've been granted.
Yeah.
You fucking did
I
it.
did it.
You did it. All right, and
No,
thank
I
you.
thought it was good.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you did. Shorty, I'll see you later.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. You guys be sure to stay tuned for another brand new episode coming at you next week. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have been just so delightful. We have been dead and slightly flimmy and lovely.
Goodbye.